Well, good evening, everybody. We are live, and we are not coming out very well on the PA system. What's going on? Is that any louder? Yeah, a little bit louder.
It's time for the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Racing Show. Now here's Georgia Hall of Fame announcer Charles Head.
Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Hello, test. Hello, test. Hello, test. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Well, hi there. We still got nothing coming out. Coming out of a different outfit. Darn. Check, check.
It's time for the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Racing Show. Now here's Georgia Hall of Fame announcer Charles Head.
Well, hi there, and welcome to the Champ Racing Show. Glad to have you along on this Thursday night. We've got very little sound coming out here, and I don't understand why that is the case. We're busy working on that as we speak, but for some reason we're not getting a whole lot out. Let me try something else here and see if that seems to help matters. Nope, that doesn't help matters either. Give me a second and let me see what I can do. So hold on a second. Check, check, test, 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 test. Goodness, not got it. Not. Hello, 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 test. Hello, test. Hello, testing. 1, 2. I'll put his up. Folks, I apologize. You're on Facebook. I've got plenty of things going on here. Just no sound in my room. And I'm working on it. So I apologize. Hang on just a second. I keep trying to get out of here. I can't get out good. I don't know what's going on. Let's see it. Turn on the pipeline. I'm going to try this and see if this goes better. See if that's any better. No, that's not any better either. Still got no sound coming out. What the heck? Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. I got input. I got output. Now we got sound. We have sound. Okay. Now we'll start all over again. Those of you on Facebook, thank you for being resilient with us. So here we go. We're going to start this thing off once again. Well, after a little bit of a delay, welcome to the Champ Racing Show. Glad to have you along. Let me see if I can get some of these volume turned up and down so that we can hear each other as we start off on tonight's program. I want to thank you for being with us. It's a great night. We're at Moogie's Mill Creek Gathering Place for another great show tonight, and we're excited to be here. We thank you so much for being along tonight, and once again, I got to work on my audio here just a hair, see what I can do to get this working and sounding a little better. So just bear with me. Let me introduce my co-host, and while she's talking for just a second, I'll get all of these things worked out. So my co-host tonight, I'm so excited. We have Cindy Brett with us. And if you've been on Facebook at all, you have seen what Cindy does. She does a tremendous job. And she covers all the racetracks. She covers everybody around and lets you know everything that's going on at racetracks. And we are just excited as heck to have Cindy Brett with us tonight. Congratulations on everything that you have done in the racing world.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Well, now, hold that thing a little closer to your mouth. I've got issues tonight. It's coming across on Facebook okay, I think. It's just here we got a little problem inside. Let me see if I can still get something going here and figure out what's happening. I don't know. This is technically everything worked great when I set it up. Now all of a sudden it doesn't want to work so well. Anyway, Cindy, tell me a bit about how you got started doing your thing from the grandstands.
I was just going to races, and I realized that there was a lot of people that didn't know that right in their backyard was some really good racing every Saturday night. You didn't have to have a special series coming through. You didn't have to travel a long way to see good racing. It was right in your backyard. And a lot of drivers weren't going to different tracks, doing things. They were sitting home or whatever. I did videos, and they were able to see the tracks that they wanted to go to, and see their class racing at these tracks, and it's brought more drivers to the tracks. But fans, they were like, okay, I didn't know that 20 miles down the road, Wonderbear Speedway is sitting there. I'm going to go watch a race. And, I would say if we can put one more behind in the stands on any Saturday night, our job was done.
So what was the first track you actually videoed at?
Funny thing, I actually was at Livonia the Saturday night that Cody Overton got T-boned going into turn one. And I just happened to take my phone out because I had heard of Brandon, and this was way before I got started. I had heard of Big Sexy, and then here comes they're the intercom, and they said, Little Sexy Cody Overton. And I was like, that's got to be Brandon's brother. So I got my phone out, and he got tagged. And I posted it, and by the time I got home, it had just blew up on my personal page. And my daughter's like, Mom, you got to do a separate page if you're going to do this, and we just started going and recording and posting them up.
So had you had an idea of doing this before that, or all of a sudden?
No, it just fell in my lap.
Wow.
That one video of Cody, hitting the wall and getting so many likes and views or whatever, people were like, I didn't even know you liked dirt track racing. This is really cool. And they shared it with their friend who liked dirt track racing, and it just grew from there.
So what made you come to Livonia? Just because of Brandon?
No. Just wanted to go watch a race. Hadn't been in a long time, and I don't think Swainsboro was where I would usually go, and they weren't running that night. So I was like, let's go to Livonia.
Well, I started to say that's a little bit of a trek from your house.
That's never stopped me from going anywhere.
So how long have you been doing that? That was what, 4 years?
Yeah, we're on the fourth. November will be 4 years.
Yeah, that was a wild night.
It was.
Yeah.
It was entertaining to say the least.
So now let's talk about the most entertaining track. Was that the most entertaining that you filmed, or has there been something to surpass?
Oh, there's always, you think you've seen the craziest, and then you go the next week and you see something even crazier. I think, and this is no secret, Wonderbear Speedway will always is my favorite racetrack. I love that place, and so I can always count on the really good racing. But I'll go, you go to, I'm blank now, but you can go to Livonia, and you can see some action, and folks just get all out of whack about it, and it makes for interesting conversation for sure.
Well, you have certainly brought a lot of notoriety to people that may not have seen dirt track racing before with what you do on
Right.
So tell everybody what it is in case they haven't found it yet.
It's Cindy Brett, my view from the stands.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. You're just in the stands with your cell phone.
Yep.
You're either following the leader or following some great action.
If nothing's happening on the track with the leaders, I generally try to move back because everybody's looking at the leaders. If anybody's recording, they're recording the leaders. I like to get those guys that are side by side somewhere.
Yeah. So now, you have not really seen Winder Vera except for the time that Stevens had. He's done so many improvements there.
Right.
You didn't see it back in the old
No, I did not. But I just love it. I love the more old school, the less, and I say this about Winder Vera, the less bells and whistles, the more I like it.
Yeah.
I love that old school, 2 bathroom stalls, or just everything small, local racing. I say that Winder Vera is one of those places that you know who's not at the race that week because of the seat that's empty. Because it's just like everybody just gets together on the weekend and race cars, and
That's right.
It's good stuff.
Good stuff. So now, have you been to tracks where there was special events or things that were happening, and what did you see? Like last week, for instance, Mason Peppers won at Winder, and I tried to get Mason to come tonight. He was tied up, but anyway, he proposed to his fiancée, current fiancée, his girlfriend, on Saturday night at the racetrack, and that's just kind of cool when you do something like that. So what has been the most unusual thing you've had at a racetrack?
I have to say, which I've recorded a couple proposals on the front straightaway. It's an event that they have at Dixie, the waterless boat race. That is probably the most exciting, fun, off-the-wall thing that I get to do. Yeah. But I've done several of the proposals and memorials, that sort of thing. Those are always really good.
Well, good. Well, we're so happy to have you. Drove 2.5 hours to get here just to co-host the show.
Just to be with you, Charles. Just to hang out with you.
I'm excited about that. We're very excited to have Cindy with us tonight. And it's time to have our first guest come up. Billy Buffington's going to join us. Billy, come on up wherever you are. Billy Buffington's on his way up. And while he's coming up, let me tell you about some of our sponsors. Of course, we're at Mookie's Mill Creek Gathering Place. And unless the Braves make the playoffs, this is the last time we'll be at Mookie's or any live show outside of the studio this year. So hopefully we'll be back here when the Braves make playoffs on a Thursday night. We'll have to see how that goes. Also, Jackie Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Man, what great folks they are up there. If you're looking for a Jeep or a Ram truck or one of the new Dodge Chargers or Challengers, check them out at Jackie Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Cleveland, Georgia. Mid-South Cajun Equipment is a sponsor of our results portion, and we'll have the results portion coming up in just a little while, so you'll get to hear more about Mid-South Cajun Equipment. Them, but Scoot Rice and the folks, they do a tremendous job in Royston at Mid-South Cajun Equipment. Simpson Trucking and Grading is located in Gainesville. They'll move a mountain, they'll come out and clean out a basement, or they'll dig out for a basement for you. No job is too small, and certainly no job is too large for the folks at Simpson Trucking and Grading in Gainesville. Bulldog Car Wash, I stopped in there today. Make sure you stop in. Ask them for the Champ Show Bulldog Car Wash in Tagua. Smith Tires located in Livonia. Check out Adam Smith. You'll see his car on the pole right there on Jones Street, the number 14 race car. They've got all new brands of tires, everything you need, and light mechanic work at Smith Tire. In Livonia is at $10,000 to win at Tagua Raceway on Sunday night. You're going to have cars from all over the country. The payout is just tremendous throughout the entire field. So we hope you'll be there. Biggest fireworks display south of Washington, D.C. at Tagua Raceway on Sunday night as well. Livonia Speedway Racing tomorrow night, $5,000 to win. It is the James Foster Memorial. We're so proud that they got a race for James Foster and that he was inducted into the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame just a few weeks ago. We'll talk more about that as the night goes on as well. But that's tomorrow night at Livonia Speedway. Winder Vera Speedway, Woody's all geared up for the wheelbarrow race. That's coming up this Saturday night at Windermere Speedway. That's Cindy's favorite racetrack. You ought to go down there and make it your favorite too, Windermere Speedway. And of course, Yellow Hat Travels. That's something I just started this past week. Yeah, I'm a travel agent now. Can't wait to book your travel. We got a racing cruise coming up in February, right before race season starts. PM me about it, and we would love to tell you a little bit about it. Yellow Hat Travels, imagine that. Yellow Hat Travels. And I'll take care of you. I promise you I will. Also, put in the comments where you're viewing from. We always like to know that, so put in the comments where you're viewing from, and we'll find out who we got viewing and where you're from. Billy Buffington join us right now. He is, I make no bones about it, Billy is my best friend in racing. We've been buddies for a lot of years. Matter of fact, we used to ride around when I was looking at cabinet jobs, and I'd have Billy with me, and I would ask him all kind of crazy questions like, do you left foot brake or right foot brake? I remember I had me asking you that one time, and you had to tell me how you handle it inside a race car. So learned all kind of stuff from you over the years. It came from somewhere. Put that in a plus name. Well, you know Cindy.
I've seen her at the racetrack several times. She's come out of the car, taking pictures. We were just talking about you. You do a great job at what you do.
Thank you.
She does do a good job, yeah.
Thank you.
And anybody that can bring notoriety to dirt track racing, man, I'm excited about that and happy for what you do.
Absolutely. We do.
Yeah.
Some of these young kids involved.
So now, you got a streak this year. You got a bunch of wins at Collett.
We've had a good season. We won 5. We finished them all. Some of them we shouldn't have, but we did. Had a good year. Been blessed. Sure have.
I remember one night, going back 6 or 7 years ago, King of the High Banks, and they radioed down to you and said, you got a left front tire that's down, and you were leading the race, and you said, oh, and you drove that thing all the way to victory with a front tire down. That's unusual.
I remember that. I noticed, I said, that flat tire, I knew where I needed to be. It worked out. Good night, boys. Good night.
Now, I've asked you this before. How many championships? 7, 8, 10, 12? I don't know that we kept count of all those, have we?
Might be up to, I don't know, 9 or 10, I think.
Yeah. And this year poised probably for another one.
We're going to try. We got a good shot at it, I hope.
Yeah. So you got to venture away from Modified Street. We called it something else back in the day, but you got to venture away from it into 604 racing at that time, and then found your home back at Modified Street again.
Didn't take me long. That was way over my head. I couldn't do it. I love the Modified Street, the street stock cars. It's good class. It's a tough class.
Yeah.
It's really tough. We got some really good cars. Ovex over there, he's tough. And, yeah, I can say here that he know them all.
Yeah.
It's a good class. Very good.
Well, I don't make any bones about it. That's my favorite class on the racetrack is Modified Street. They still look like a car you'd buy off of a showroom 30, 40 years ago, and yet everybody gets it hard.
Everybody tells me that. They like the Modified Street class and the Stockade. It's a good class. I like the Modified Street.
Well, Stockade is kind of like what Modified Street was 15 years ago.
Times is very close. Really close. Good class.
You are, I guess, kind of the dean of racing now. Which is, people tell me that, which means I'm old, so I'm not going to say that about you, but you're sort of the dean of at the racetrack now. Things have changed over the years. Has it changed for the better?
I think so, especially the safety part of it. I walk around and look at some cars, and I look at the racetrack. I noticed some. I know they're just beginning, but they need some attention. But yeah, the safety has come a long way. They really have. Seats are better. It's good.
Yeah. Roll cages, roll bars, they've added a few that they didn't used to have years ago, and that's up a lot.
Over here on the side.
Window nets, that's a big thing. Yeah. And I remember the days whenever everybody used to wear their jeans and just a jacket, a no-mix jacket. Nowadays, it's got to be full racing suits.
We got that up too. You need it. You got to have it.
Yeah.
Christmas is over. I'm getting. I'll try to be safe here.
Well, I keep thinking that you're kind of like me. I keep thinking it's going to be your last year, and then you show up with a brand new high-dollar trailer, and I know it's not going to be your last year.
Well, I don't know how much longer. I'm running work, I guess, and I feel good and healthy. I'm going to try to lay here, I think. We're looking forward to next year.
Are you? So any changes coming up next year?
I don't know yet. We're working on some things.
Going back to red car, or still going to be black?
I think we're going to go red.
Are you?
Yeah. We're going to go red this time.
Well, your Grand Le Mans, I had that side of that in my shop for years, but that Pontiac Grand Le Mans, it was almost like an orangey red. It was not really a deep red.
Burn orange.
Yeah, burnt orange sort of, yeah. So what prompted you to go with that?
Orange. What's the got a deal on the paint? I don't know.
Must have had a Clemson fan give that to you.
So that had to be good paint there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's back when it was a metal side. I mean, that was a real side of a car at that point in time. Yeah. That was late 80s, early 90s.
Late 80s,
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of good racing, you and I have seen a lot of good racing over the years. Cindy will have to tell you want to tell her the story about Anderson that night? Cindy was talking about she always wanted to go to Anderson. You want to tell us that story?
You need to go. It's a fun racetrack. It's real fun. It's dirt. But even asphalt, it's exciting. That was the lady.
Yeah, Oliver, and Chrissy Oliver, and Jay Moore.
She stood her own ground, didn't she?
Yeah, Chrissy led 99 laps of a 100-lap race. And on turn 3 coming out of the last corner, Jay Moore said, and he was like 17 years old, just a kid, but a lot of talent. And he said, ain't no woman gonna beat me. And he drove over her. He drove over her car, and I mean, mayhem ensued. They went nose to nose on the front straightaway. Mama showed up with tire tools, and they banned her and said, and Billy and I had to help load her car so she and her daddy could leave. I mean, it was a heck of a mess. Yeah. And several weeks later, we were over there, and there wasn't much of a crowd in the stands, and Rupert came to me and he said, I'm going to get Chrissy Oliver back down there and put some butts in the stands. Good times. Yeah. So now you got, Cindy got a question.
So how old were you when you started racing?
How old was I? 1984, 1964. 22, 23.
Every time I do a hanging at the hall or interview for the race page, I ask this question, and I always love the answers. If you, just like you are now, your age, everything, and all the experience that you have, if you could go back to the first time you got in a race car to race competitively, what would you tell yourself?
Probably, what am I doing here? I don't know. But, I look back, I wouldn't change a thing. I've had fun doing it. Been a blast. Met a lot of people, a lot of good people. It's been blessed. We really have. I like the street stock cars. Put on the show, try to, do what we can. But I don't think I'd change anything.
Well, race fans are so loyal, sponsorship-wise. We always see that. They're loyal sponsors, but they're also just loyal people. I mean, they're loyal to people that they work with. You can have a disagreement with somebody on the racetrack. Next week they got a problem, and you're in the grandstands taking up money for them.
Right.
I mean, the most loyal friends you'll ever have are racetrack friends.
That's right.
Yeah. Do anything in the world for you. So you got your list.
Yeah.
Who you got that you want to thank?
Man, I couldn't remember all these. I've got some good help this year. I've had some help over the years. It's just been good. I want to thank Currahee Security Systems, Garrett Phillips Construction, Haddock Collision, Mike's Wholesale Flooring. He come on board with us this year. Been good. Georgia Metals.
You know why he did that? He was advertising on my show, and he said, you know what, I think I'm going to quit doing your show and start giving it to local drivers. So you got my money, Billy.
I'll use it, I promise you. Lucas Flash Salon, J&C Auto Care, Gibson Racing Engines. That's been good. Harvester Construction Services, Cookies by Britt. And I have to thank Carolyn, she's there every week. My wife supports us. She's just as big part of the team as I am. Couldn't do it without it. And Scott and Ray and all the attendants at the shop, he was working my way. Mark, Ricky, Johnny, Ryan, he's in Tennessee. I think he's probably watching this. He's right. I appreciate them all. Couldn't do it without them.
Well, let me ask you a question. You've been doing this long enough now. Whenever you win a race like you did Saturday night, and then you come back home, do you still do a lot of work on the race car, or is it pretty much put in the box and let it go?
Well, that's something that's changed too with these street smart cars. I mean, we go from one end to the other every week. Just checking modes, doing this, doing that, trying to figure out how can we get faster, even though we want. We're still talking about it. Making some changes. It's work. That part has changed. Didn't used to have to do all that.
Yeah. Well, you didn't used to have as many high-dollar parts.
Right.
Usually you go to the junkyard and get whatever you wanted bolted on or modified a little bit.
You can't do that anymore. Not just smart about the street.
Yeah. Well, good luck Sunday night. Are y'all racing for big money like the Limited or what? I mean, not that big of money, obviously.
We'll be there. I don't think it's just like a show for us. I hope we have a good turnout. We'll put on a good race.
Yeah. Good deal. Billy, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. Billy Buffington, rider number 10. Check him out this Sunday night at Coral Raceway when they have their big race coming up. Coming up next, Lisa Calhoun is going to join us. Where's Lisa? Yeah, she's going to join us while she's coming up here. Let's tell you a little bit about our sponsors. Well, of course, Boogiesville Free Gathering Place. Happy to be here on the shores of Lake Hartwell. Come out and enjoy some fantastic food at Boogie's on Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays when they're open. Also, Bowling Farm Supply. Man, you're stepping back in history at Bowling Farm Supply. Great bowling, and the folks down there, it's like walking into the old feed store whenever you were a kid with your grandfather. Unbelievable. Right there at the corner of Damascus Road and Highway 198 in Baldwin, it's Bowling Farm Supply. Safety Plus, they're in Cordelia, right on Cannon Bridge Road. Wendell and Pat Norton can furnish you with your welding supplies, all of your safety supplies, everything you need at Safety Plus. Antler Creations, Hugh Bryant will take your trophy and he will fix it up in the most unusual and professional way. They're getting ready now. Of course, deer season's just around the bend, so check with Hugh Bryant at Antler Creations in Livonia and go ahead and get ready to get that mount over there and get it set for you. Hugh Bryant, a great friend of racing and a great friend of the outdoors and of hunters as well. Atlanta Motorsports Park, man, one of my favorite racetracks. I love going there, whether it's the kart track or the main track. You can see Lamborghinis and go-karts racing at the same time at Atlanta Motorsports Park, located on Duck Thurman Road. I always have to get that right. Duck Thurman Road in Dawsonville, Georgia. Go up and do the kart rental. My goodness, you run 55 miles an hour, and you got a great hairpin turn that drops 30 feet, and then right back up the next side. And you get to do that in a rental cart at 55 miles per hour at Atlanta Motorsports Park. And of course, our racetrack sponsors, including Skull Raceway, $10,000 on the line this Sunday night for the limited late models into Stephen Ragg Memorial. Also, great payout through the field. Livonia Speedway, they've got the James Foster Memorial tomorrow night. That's going to be huge at Livonia Speedway. Windermere Speedway on Saturday night. It's the wheelbarrow race and all kinds of goodies at Windermere Speedway coming up on Saturday night. And of course, if you haven't thought about that cruise yet, make sure you check it out at Yellow Hat Travels. We'll be happy to show you how you can go very inexpensively on a cruise, get all your meals, all your travel, and everything in, and it is just an economical price. It is for racers and anybody that wants to go. I'm doing my live seminar on how to get sponsors, how to get big name sponsors while we're on that cruise. You don't want to miss that. I used to do that seminar 20 years ago, and I charged $249 for people to attend, but we're going to do it free of charge on the cruise coming up in February. So PM me for more information on that. Put us in the chat where you're viewing from. We appreciate it. Lisa Calhoun comes up and joins us right now. Lisa is probably Cindy Brett's best friend. But Lisa and I have known each other for a long time, but she and Cindy have become friends. So, Cindy, this one's on you. Go ahead and start doing some interviewing.
Oh, goodness. Hello, darling. So, I know. I don't know what my hands.
These things are like 40 years old. You know, Tony Stewart, Dale Jr., all kind of butts have been in these seats over the years, so feel honored.
So tell us a little bit about your ties with racing, whether it be asphalt or dirt.
Okay, well, I grew up in a racing family. Like many of the racers around here, my dad raced pretty much my whole life growing up. Mainly at Anderson. He started off at Anderson when he was birth, and he raced at up in TR, wasn't TR back then, Riverside.
Right.
And
Which is no longer there, but it was in that area, yeah.
And then of course
Lawrence and all those, and Greenville Pickens.
But my dad and my uncles, and my grandfather actually. But mainly when I was a kid, I saw my dad, and then my older brother Michael raced at Anderson, and he's the first one that actually put me in a race. And I raced a powder puff race on asphalt when I was maybe 17 years old. And I was good then, I guess. It was in Stockport.
So that was your first race,
That was my first race, powder puff, yeah.
Okay.
I finished second, didn't win.
Who beat you? Remember that?
I don't.
You know, everybody always remembers who they got beat by.
I don't. I remember my brother thought it was so cool because I came from like, I don't know, 10th to 2nd. So he doused me with a Gatorade.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year was that?
That was, let's see, I was 17, so
You want to tell that?
99 maybe?
99, okay.
And then my cousin Travis
Yep.
is who actually got me back into racing after college. So I went away to college and, you know, all that. It kind of brings you away from racing. But I went to TR and saw Travis racing a front-wheel drive. I just bumped into him and he was like, hey, I'm racing at TR like tonight or tomorrow. And I was like, okay, I'll come see you. And it was like the funnest thing I had seen in I don't know how long. So I was like, Travis, this looks fun. And he said, it is. You should get one. And like 2 weeks later I had one at TR. And actually that was 2010. And I won driver of the year.
Really?
For Dirt Track Online that year, yeah.
Wow, how cool was that?
I think, you know, female driver, rookie kind of deal, you know, but there were much more deserving drivers for driver of the year, I'll tell you that. But it was a lot of fun.
Right place, right time.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And then, of course, I was actually at a race at Toccoa when I met Sammy, and I guess the rest is history.
Well, you had the Barbary family history in racing and then the Calhoun family history in racing, so not unusual that y'all enjoy racing.
That's true. That is true. And, yeah, many of our date nights have been at racetracks, that's for sure.
Now, did you bring the Calhouns in, or were they already in the mix? Or were they, okay.
Yeah, so Sammy was racing when I met her.
Gotcha.
And Terry too.
Gotcha.
And I think I spent more time talking to my father-in-law that night than I did Sammy because he was busy, but, yeah, just, pretty much he's been racing ever since. And then he, you know, obviously has put me in a car several times since then too, so I gotta say most of my success that I've had since we've been married has been because of him, because he's put me in, fast cars.
Now, what transitioned you into the more business side of like the NASCAR ties, that sort of thing?
Well, my
Was
dad...
that a right place at the right time kind of situation?
It was, and kind of knowing the right people also. My dad actually worked in pit crew for NASCAR. So, I don't know if you remember Ricky Vanderbilt? Sure. Yeah, so they worked for him a lot.
Oh, really?
And for, was it Payton's Garage? Or, I can't remember the name of the garage there in Piedmont, South Carolina. But, so he knew some people through that. But then they had an opening for business development at Lemon Speedway, and I had at that time I had a bachelor's in business. Now I have a master's in business. But at that time I had a bachelor's, and I was like, let me go see what they're talking about. And due to my racing ties and history in racing and sales, I've been in sales many years, it was just a good fit. And so I wanted to work for Lemon Speedway.
And not only did you go to work for them, but they were struggling trying to find a sponsor for the truck race, and you brought in a big sponsor, I mean, days before, and that just put a cloud on your head with folks in Atlanta.
It did, and it was so exciting to see that race get advertised all over the place, that it had finally got a sponsor, because it's such a, I like a black flag on a race to not have a sponsor.
Yeah, we call it a Georgia 250 or something weird like that, yeah.
You know, okay, they couldn't get a sponsor. And at that time, Atlanta was struggling a little bit in that arena, but it was just really, it wasn't Atlanta, it was the nature of the business at that time. Because Atlanta's a great facility, great people, they go above and beyond for their sponsors, and it wasn't Atlanta. It was just the nature of the business at that time. But I struck up a relationship with Ultimate Tailgating, and I just was relentless. I wouldn't leave that poor man alone. And next thing you know, I had him envisioning how his name was going to be all over that racetrack, and it was, and he had a great time, and all his whole company was there. And you know, a lot of times people don't realize what all that you can put into a sponsorship package, but he sponsored that truck race, but because of that sponsorship, he had his name at events and presence at events at Atlanta and other area events for the whole year, because he would have an activation booth at all of their events because of that one package. So. Wow. And that's one thing that I really have tried to get, like, at Toccoa, when I went to work at Toccoa, to bring in a little bit more of that mindset of being more of a well-rounded package for sponsorship. And it's just sometimes I think with the smaller companies that are sponsoring some of these drivers or smaller tracks, they're short-staffed and they're already pushed to the limits on time, so it's hard to get some of that in the works. But if you can, it would be a game changer for some of these companies that are sponsoring racers or tracks to have like an activation at an event. It would be so much better than just having their name on the car.
And of course, you want these businesses to flourish because of it. That's the whole reason they sponsor it, is for the advertising. And if they're not getting the value out of it, then it's not worth even doing it. So you've got to make sure they get value.
That's true. And, you know, one thing, like when I was at Toccoa, working with, I still have a great relationship with Toccoa, but I'm just not working with them full time. But at Toccoa, one thing I would tell businesses in the area, and this is one thing that local racers can tell, and I still use that when I talk to companies for our race team, is where in Toccoa or Livonia or Hartwell or Winder are you going to have 1,000 people their eyes on your business at one time? Where in Toccoa? It's the only place. So I really hope that opens some businesses' eyes when I say that to the potential.
And if announcers generally, like I did, I would go down, I don't ever go down the list because I don't want everybody following who the next one, I jump around, but I make sure that I have some kind of 15 or 20 second blurb about each one of those so that I actually give them a commercial, not just mention their names. I think you're missing the boat if you don't promote their business for them.
That's exactly right. You know, because I could say, like, one of our sponsors is Tri-County Battery. But if I don't go into detail that, hey, they have any kind of battery you want, they will bring the battery to you. Yeah. They'll deliver within like an hour and a half radius. And they also customize golf carts, and they have all kinds of special equipment for that. If I don't mention that, somebody who's going to Tri-County Battery, I don't know what that is. Yeah. You know, but mentioning that is so much more valuable. But what will even be even more valuable is having them set up a booth, you know, or coming with you to the racetrack and meeting other racers and fans. Yeah. So, you know, if we had more companies doing that, I feel like not only would it be beneficial for those companies, it would be beneficial for the fans also.
Well, when tracks love on the sponsors, you know, when they're made to feel special when they're there, that probably changes the whole dynamic of that relationship rather than just showing up, sitting on the seat, and then going home.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's one thing that is really cool, especially like if you have special seating or something like that. I know Livonia does, and I know Toccoa has tried to do that, and I think they have some things maybe planned, but just haven't been able to do it yet. But if we could get some special seating, that would be good, you know, because it is nice to be able to talk. You can't really talk outside when they're racing, so special seating is pretty good for that kind of
situation. Yeah, it's very important. Livonia's got that little VIP area, and that's a really nice place to entertain folks. Yeah. It's hard to have a tower big enough. Dixie's done a great job with that.
Yeah,
Lanier used to be, they had that entire one at Lanier, and that was great to bring people in.
Anderson has a nice tower.
Yeah, Anderson has a nice tower. it sat there and with just spare studs for 40 years, and they finally got it enclosed and making it look good now.
Yeah, I think overall, Scott taking over or buying Anderson, or whatever the arrangement is, the improvements he's already made, racers and fans are excited about it.
And by the way, while we're talking about Anderson Motor Speedway, tomorrow night, it's the inaugural Hall of Fame race at Anderson Motor Speedway. Charlie Mize, that's David Smith's grandfather, Charlie Mize is going in. He was one of the originators of Anderson Motor Speedway. Also, local guys that we know, like Bud Lunsford, Charles Barrett, Mike Love, all of them are being honored tomorrow night. Mike Cox, big name from Anderson Motor Speedway, they're all going into that inaugural Hall of Fame class tomorrow night, April 30th. August 30th at Atlanta. I got the first initial right. August 30th at Anderson Motor Speedway. You know, that's the only time I ever mixed up my racetracks. One night I was at Anderson and I said, welcome to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Of all things. I got the first letter right. Get a little bit of break.
And I was opposite. When I was at Atlanta, I was at Anderson. And they say, where? But my cousin Travis will probably be there racing. I don't know what classes they have, but his two kids are racing there now.
Oh, really?
Mackenzie and Bentley. And
what division are they in?
they're in young guys.
Okay, so they have young guys class.
They do, yeah. And they have it really cool. They have a breakout rule. So it cuts down on some of the faster cars because you can't go over a certain speed or else you don't win.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow.
It's called breakout rule.
So how do they monitor that? Just time?
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. The one race, I've been waiting on you to win. I was gone for a convention one weekend, and darn it, that's the time you won. I had a truck 2 years ago.
Does that mean you're unlucky to win Charles?
Apparently so.
The truck race that I won, my very first one, it meant so much to me because I raced four cylinders for a long time, and really, that's all I ever raced, really, four cylinders. And so getting in a big car was just, it's a little more of a daunting task. And when I won that one, I was like, I have pictures where it looks like I'm crying, but I'm not crying. I was screaming because I was just like, it felt like I did it, you know. And I was just so happy that I was able to get it done because I knew how much work that my crew had put into it.
So has Sammy got a truck ready for Sunday night?
Two trucks, yeah. We still got the 9 and the 11.
You gonna race?
No, no, probably not. I mean, honestly, if it was up to Sammy, I'd be in the truck every weekend. I'm not. That's how he is. He would much rather see me race. So you can see it on his face too. It's like he's like, you got your racing suit, you know. But with one baby, 2 kids at home, it's a little tougher to get.
Well, now, when's Levi going to get in the truck or the car?
Oh my goodness. Years ago, I told Sammy, listen, if we get rid of all the evidence now, maybe he'll never want to race. But I think he's already got the bug. We went go-kart racing at Myrtle Beach. We went to see my brother. My older brother lives in Myrtle Beach now. We went to see him, and they got out there on go-karts, and he was fierce.
Oh, really?
So I said, oh boy, which makes sense. He's got racing. Sammy's dad raced for years at Tacoma. Yeah. So he's got it on both sides of the family, big time. And so we'll have both trucks at Tacoma. And Terry will be in the 11. And Sammy hasn't decided if he's going to be in the 9 or not, so he's going to make up that decision. And if he's not, then I'll probably ask Travis, my cousin, Travis Barbie, to race in there. But I'd definitely like to give a shout out to my sponsors, if that's all right. Well, first is Matthew's 5-Star Flooring. I don't know if you've seen them in Tacoma. They bought that building.
Matter of fact, I had him come down and lay some flooring for me, and he did such a great job. I was very impressed.
Yes.
And man, he worked on it 2 days and just got a great hardwood floor laid down for me.
Oh, they're fantastic. They redid our lobby and the shop.
Yeah.
And they went from a carpet to a vinyl wood or something or other. I don't know what that stuff is, but you know, it looks like wood of the name. The window back, and it's fabulous. So I can't say enough about him. Yeah, I can't say enough about him. Well, Shane Matthews, his son is driving a car. Sammy's helped him put a car together. We technically still own it, but he's kind of put his motor and everything in it.
Oh, really?
So he's driving that modified street, number 1. He's just now starting out, so he's raced a few times at Tacoma.
Oh, that's good.
So that's Shane in the number 1.
Did you believe the whole time that Howard was there at our house working, racing never came up?
Oh, that's so funny. But that's professional, I guess that's what I mean. But then I've got Nitro Average Shows Plumbing Service. They're another top-notch company. Tri-County Battery in Anderson, we've already talked about them. They're great people. Red Bottom Racewear, that's mainly online, but please check out their offers. They have some cool gear. And then O'Reilly Auto Parts, of course, we do a lot of sponsorship and back and forth business with them, and we just can't say enough good things about the guys in Tacoma and their regional marketing crew. But then, of course, SNL Automotive. One thing that I didn't even get to is that we've been expanding SNL Automotive a little bit. We'll have some announcements coming out soon on some other offerings, but we are now offering U-Haul rentals, trailers, trucks, all kind of things for U-Haul.
Good deal.
So they're at our lot at SNL Automotive. And then
Y'all are on, not the 206 Park Road, but the road before that, right?
right before
What's the name of that road?
Hopper Springs.
Hopper Springs, okay.
Yeah. Right beside Rockies, between Rockies and A1. And right across from Dollar General. But, and then of course I want to thank my crew real fast. That's Sammy, Terry, Ryan, which is our nephew, and then Patrick and Shane.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Any other parting, you plan on promoting any races anytime soon?
Well, we're working on it. I just talked to Adrian yesterday, and we're always tossing around the idea and, kind of always have sponsorship women in the background with different companies. I've been doing some sponsorship consulting work on the side, and like sponsorship valuation and that kind of thing. And I did want to mention that on the show. If any local drivers or not so local drivers that just don't really know what to do, if they want to just shoot me a message on Facebook, feel free to do that. I'll look over your deck, or I'll even give you the deck that I use because, times are hard and I just want to help these local racers out and try to keep this going.
Well, listen, you need to teach that part of the sponsorship deal, see?
I'm looking into it.
Yeah.
I'm looking into it. Where are you going out of?
We're leaving out of Tampa, going to
Okay.
Cozumel, and then Costa Mesa.
Hey, we can ride to Tampa, Sandy. Y'all make sure to check out Cindy Brett's, everything she posts, because everything she does is amazing.
Yeah.
But now, I will be sharing your info. You're going to put some stuff together, and I'm going to share it on the page for the drivers to see, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Always good to talk to you.
Always good to talk to you. I appreciate it.
Lisa Calhoun has been our guest. Who we got coming up next? So we got Austin Reed on the way up next. Austin's coming up. Did Austin make it in? He said he'd be here about 7:50. So yeah, Austin's on the way up. While Austin's coming up, let me tell you about some of our sponsors. Of course, we're at Moogie's Mill Creek Gathering Place here on the shores of Lake Hartwell. Glad to be here. Also, J&C Auto Repair. They're in Tacoma on Miles Road. And Jason and Clay, they can fix anything. They've been working on my truck, doing a few little upgrades. So my truck's a 2013, so it needs a little bit of work every once in a while. They've been doing a great job on it. I'm excited about it, folks, at J&C Auto Repair. Gus Simpson Trucking. Gus has got like 30 trucks now. He is hauling stuff all over North Georgia and even into South Carolina. Check out Gus Simpson at Gus Simpson Trucking in Gainesville. The Addison Agency, they're mine and Kenny's insurance agents. They should be yours too. They're auto owners insurance agents. They can handle any kind of insurance claim you got, any kind of insurance, whether it's life, home, auto, no matter what. They can do it at the Addison Agency. See Vonda, Daryl, Colby, or Mary Ann at the Addison Agency. Also, America's #1 weight loss solution. Yeah, I lost 120 pounds on it in 9 months. Happy to help you do that as well. So if you're interested in getting some weight off, we'd love to help you at America's #1 weight loss solution. Justice Exterminating, they were just at our house yesterday, filling up the rodent boxes on the outside and doing a little spraying around. If you want a dad, call Fred. And Fred Justice Exterminating here in, he's in Mount Airy, but he covers all of Northeast Georgia at Justice Exterminating. And of course, our racetrack sponsors, Score Raceway Big Race on Sunday night, paying $10,000 to win 100 laps. That is going to be a doozy. Of course, with Hogan Speedway, the James Foster Memorial tomorrow night, paying $5,000 to win. And of course, Winder Speedway, they got that wheelbarrow race coming up on Saturday night at Winder as well. And Austin Reed is going to be in that. You're going to be in that 5,000 to win race tomorrow, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, you're looking forward to that, I see.
Yep.
You've been in Victory Lane before in that limited division, man. It's almost like you jump from 602 to limited and just bam, right straight into Victory Lane. It's crazy. I mean, the amount of horsepower from 602 to limited, like, it's just, like the shocks and the motor and everything, it's crazy. When you stop on it, you can go somewhere, right? Yeah. We just don't stop on it too hard. You might spin out a little bit. That's right, you gotta be going straight when you stop. Yeah, that's right. So you come from it's kind of a family history in racing, but it's sort of, you kind of followed cornbread and what he was doing more and kind of got in one of his cars to start with before you got your own stuff. Explain a little bit about that hierarchy. So, I started out going to the go-kart race when I was like 2 years old, 2 or 3. And then, after I go to the go-kart race, we went to Shallow one night, and I think I might have been 7. And he was like, you want to race? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, we can get something worked out, We went up there to Shallow, and we rented the track, and went up there, and pretty much just went up there and just tested, like, all day. And so they had me on a flathead motor or whatever, and I won like almost about every rookie race that I could race. And then so then we started running blue plate and purple plate. Well, I was probably like 9 or 10, running with like 15-year-olds at the time, and we'd go out there and just run like we did in red plate. Like, we'd just go out there and just have fun, and I mean, it's always fun when you're winning. Oh yeah. But I mean, you got your good days, you got your bad days. That's I mean, it don't matter if it's racing, fishing. You got good days, you got bad days. You know what I mean? But so then after we went and raced at Shiloh a lot, I think I was 13, and started running the tri-state up there. The first race they had was at Carson, and we went up there and raced that race, and I ended up winning that race. And then after like that race with tri-state, we just started traveling with tri-state, and we went everywhere. And then we found another series. It was I can't remember what it was, but I ended up winning the jacket, winning the championship, and then after that, we went to Thanksgiving Thunder one year. We've been going forever, and the last race that I remember going to, we run Friday night and Saturday night, and Friday night, I guarantee a tire could outrun me. It wasn't no good at all. So then after that, I woke up on Saturday, and that was the last day, and that's whenever they had the big races. And I told Mom and Daddy, I was like, something? I said, I'm gonna win a race today. And so I got to the racetrack, and everybody, how they say, boy, peanuts is bad luck. Yeah. Well, I went up there and got me the biggest cup I could find, and they was like, that's bad luck. I said, no, it ain't. It just tastes good. And after that, we qualified way back there in the back, had to run a constant to get in, and then we started way back there in the back, and it was like, we had a caution at like 10 laps. And I done made it up to 10, and then there's another caution that come out probably about 5 to go, and so I was sitting 10th, and they threw the green flag, and when they threw the green flag, like, I don't know if I had some more momentum or what I had, but I know I went from 10th to first. down the straightaway, going into one. Somehow or another, I don't know, but I led 2 laps and won $2,000. It was the G3 Big Dog. Wow. So then we went to Shiloh after that, and that's when, after we went to Shiloh, we sealed the deal, and it was like, we're just gonna start racing 604, and we got a 2009 there, right? And that's the one that Brandon would win so many races in. And I was like, alright. So we started out in that, and it was just a practicing. Like it was a car just to get the feel for it, like first time car, being in a car, and so we did that, and then
How old were you at that point?
15. Yeah. And then, so after we got 2009, we ran it about a year, and then Brandon went and picked up a 2017 Icon, and then after he raced that for about 2 seasons, he went and bought a Longhorn and gave me the Icon, and so we put the 604 in the Icon and went up there to Hall every weekend and run like third, because it was like it's crazy to think, like, they're built the same, but like, I guess in today's age, like, the newer stuff that comes out, like, it'll change the car, like, completely. Like, it's just crazy how it works like that, because I remember the first night that I took that Icon out over at Hartwell, I went off in the corner, and it laid over on the right front, and I was like, I like that. I like that a lot. And then we run it, and they got rid of 604 around here, and then we got a 525 and started running limited. But I mean, I run good. It was about the same thing starting out though. Now I still had to have practice because I ain't never run limited, and it was I mean, it's a learning curve, but after we figured the Icon out just a little bit, we took and Brian went and bought the XL, and then after we bought the XL, it was probably a year after that we went and bought one. And
So you run the XL now?
yeah, me and him running the same chassis.
So does Cooper help you out with that? I mean, you talk about stuff.
I call up there and like if I don't know which way to go on the bars or make it like turn better, or if I need a J-bar, bird cages, anything, I just call them. Or even like if I don't want to do sheet metal, I just call up there and be like, can you make me a quarter pound? They be like, yeah. They said, it'd be done tomorrow or 2 days or whatever. But so we got this XL, and man, I tell you what, like from 2017 to like a year or two ago, it's crazy how much the price has changed. Like this car I got now, it'll pretty much drive itself. You gotta give the car what it wants. Like you can't get off in the corner and force it to do something, and it like you get off in the corner and try to force it, and it get upset, and she will not turn or do anything.
Okay.
So it's a learning curve, but she's a pretty good car, I tell you that.
See, have you ever been to Thursday Thunder at go-kart track? Have you gone to much go-kart?
No.
I was announced
Twice. I've been to 2 car races.
I was announced at Thanksgiving Thunder for them last year. And here we are, 11:30, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I asked Marcia the score. I said, how many more races we got? And she said, we got 31 more at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
31 more races.
And there's a whole different breed. There's a whole different breed of people that race go-karts.
Yeah.
I went I was at Dogwood the first time I ever covered a race, and there was a kid that got T-boned, and he was slung from the cart. and I'm about to hyperventilate. I'm like, we need to call the ambulance. And here comes his mother running down the side of the fence going, you're good, you're good? And I was like, yeah, this is not for me.
Yeah.
On a personal note, I want to ask you that same question. What advice would you give that kid in the go-kart today if you could go and talk to him? What would you tell yourself?
That's a hard question, to be honest with you. I'd probably just tell myself, like, if I could go back and talk to myself, I'd tell just be calm, be patient, don't rush anything, because when you start getting rushed and you start getting antsy and stuff, it don't work out at all. Like, it does not work out.
That's good. That's good for life in general.
Yeah, for real. Like,
Take a breath and figure it out before you jump off and do something stupid.
yeah.
Those are always the best answers from drivers to me. Something to think about.
Yeah.
Like, just be calm, be patient, be smooth. Don't get off in there and just go crazy. You gotta be smooth, as smooth as fast, you know?
And there's a limited car in my future, so just hang on, right?
Yeah.
So get ready for tomorrow night. What all have you done to the car to be ready for tomorrow night?
Well, I got washed and we bought a tire yesterday, and it's we ain't got the right stagger, but we're gonna get it set up, you know. Really, the only thing we gotta do is just put the doors on it and wrap the tires and put it on the ground and load it up. Yeah, well, I take that back. I gotta go when I leave here and change the oil.
Okay. Well, you got the memo. Obviously, we all got the shirt memo this week for some reason. That's like
That's crazy.
Now, as mentioned, you followed Cornbread, Brandon Hayden. You followed him along because your brother-in-law.
That's his real name?
Cornbread? No.
Okay.
He was working for Robert. Let me tell you a story. Well, you know the story. He was working for Robert Yates Racing up in Charlotte. Cornbread was. And he was just Brandon. Well, he talks as country as they come. I mean, he is a country boy. And Kenny Wallace was working in the shop, and he started calling him Cornbread. Well, that name stuck, so now he's been Cornbread right here.
I've had several people ask me, what's his name? I said, I have no idea.
I'll tell you this story. And Hot Rod LeMance, Hot Rod's recovered from open heart surgery he had last week, so I want to continue to remember Hot Rod. I was at the Hartwell announcing one night, and I had a T-shirt I was going to give away, and I didn't know the answer to the question. I was just doing a trivia question, and I said, what is Hot Rod LeMance's real name? And this lady stood up and she said, Steve. I said, no, I think it's David. She said, I've been married to him for 35 years. It's Steve. So I gave her the shirt, obviously.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we digress.
Got a free shirt out of that.
Yeah. So now, whatever you look at what's your goal? Super late model racing in the future is not really done around here locally on a regular basis, but man, there's nothing like super late models.
Oh yeah, that's right. My goal is to get a few more wins in limited, whether it takes a year, 2, 3, whatever, but my main goal is to run super, but not like, I'll probably run like Carolina Clash but I know there's a lot of them out there. I mean,
One that runs every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Casey Roberts is kind of doing that.
So, like, I'd probably go run a few Southern National races, but I didn't go run Carolina Clash or Southern National. I gotta work a little bit harder and get a little bit more money.
So whenever you do that, you just dropping a bigger engine in, or how many changes you have to make to your current car to do that?
Well, really, it ain't much. You just got to change I might want to change the rear, I don't know, but you got to change the motor, and they got an option you can go with. Either you can get a wet sump or a dry sump. And so I don't know how we go as far as that, but I mean, I'll probably just go pick one up off the marketplace, or, well, I don't even know about that. I might, I go pick up one from a good, well-known motorman, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And I just ask around and see what I needed and what I need to do and just get, like, pointers, you know?
Yeah.
But, that's my main goal is to run a super.
Well, last time I saw your car, it didn't really have a whole lot of sponsors on it.
No.
You have sponsors.
I got sponsors, but we really just don't even put them on the car because I like numbers. It looks better with a number, in my opinion. It looks better with a number and a little bit of color. That's it.
Well, when did you finally come into your own number? Because for a long time you just put a 1 on, like a 511 or something like that.
Back when I used to go to the go-kart race and watch him, he was, I want to say he was 22, and then they switched from 22 to 94, and that's all I ran at go-karts, from 94, and then he won 51, and after he ran 51, I was like, I said, I'm getting into this late model stuff. I said, I don't know what number I want to go with. I don't know if I want to go with 51X, 51A. I ain't got a clue. So, ended up, I just added a 1 to it, and that's it. And it was 511 until we got out of that icon, and we got the XL, and I'm like, I said, that's really too many numbers on the car. I said, 511, you call somebody on the interstate if you lost or something, But I was like, I'm just going to add the 2 1s together and just be 52. He's 51, I'm 52. So, I guess hopefully it'll be 53 or 50.
I wondered how that came about. Well, listen, good luck tomorrow night. Hope you do well with the race. That is a big race in the Randi Speedway, and I want to highlight James and his career and what a stellar group of drivers he had driving for him over the years.
Yep.
And I want to highlight that tomorrow night at the James Foster Memorial.
That's right.
Thanks for coming up and being with us, man.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate it. Austin Reed has been our guest. It is results time. And here with our results from the local tracks, here is Mississippi Brett with her view from the chair.
There you go. Okay, Harrison Burton won NASCAR at Daytona. At Dakota, limited late models was Drew Collins. 602 late models was Brandon Stroud. Modified Street, Billy Buffington. Stock 8, Hayden Collett. Open wheel modified, Joe Capel. Cables, all right. Tacoma Pro Trucks, Jordan Welch. Front wheel drive, Greg Gass. And Sharp Mini late models, Chris Nation. I keep going?
Yep.
Okay. Windermere, limited, Rod Roberts. 602 Hobby, Nick Sellers. 602 Chargers, Alex Crow. Modified Street, Josh Hardigree. Right? Okay. Stock 8, Mark Chancey. Stock 4A, Kyle Braswell. Stock 4B, Mason Peppers. And front wheel drive, Wayne Chapman. The Classic Vintage Racing Series, Skeeter Straight Axle was Lonnie Roberts. Skeeter A-Frame was Stacy Cotton. Skeeter 6-cylinder, Lamar Adams. Late Model Sportsman was Randy Gilbert. And Late Model Modified was Brant Carey.
You got Livonia?
Stick them together.
I think it was Livonia.
Yes, Livonia. I'm sorry, Livonia. Limited late model, David McCoy. 602 late model, Chris Woods. Modified Street, Philip Burton. Stock 8, Anthony Stevens. Stock 4, Justin Jacobs. Front wheel drive, Northwest. Young Guns was Alyssa Kelly, and the Powder Puff race was Katie Locke.
Yeah, and Katie Locke is from somewhere down in South Georgia, probably somewhere near you. But anyway, none of us up here have heard of Katie Locke, but she came in and won the Powder Puff race. But a big, strong run out of my co-host a few weeks ago. Well, I've lost her name all of a sudden. Anyway, Dobbs. Baby Dobbs, yeah, Baby Dobbs finished second. And I told her, I kidded her this week, and I said, she won $700 for second place. I said, tell Douglas that's probably more than his car has ever won with him driving it. $700. So anyway, she said they had had that conversation. Atlanta Motorsports Park, here are your winners from this past Saturday. It was at the kart track. Tyson Burkett won the LO206 Kid Karts. Isaac Carvalho, the LO206 Cadets. Talon Laney won the LO206 Juniors. Peyton Bridges, the LO206 Senior, and the LO206 Masters was Adam Phillips. In the LO206 Legends, it was David Fusco. Tag Rookie, Bo Stowers. Tag Cadet was Calvin Berghofer. The Tag Senior was Mateo Rubio Luengo. In the Tag Masters, it was Brad Estes. KA100 Seniors, Mayo Rubio Luengo won that one. In the KA100 Juniors, it was Harry Cunningham. Arlo Stowers won the Comer Kid. Shifters went to Jake Fetter, and Vintage, it was Tyler Swan, and that's what happened this past weekend at Atlanta Motorsports Park. Joining us right now, Hayden Collett's on the way up. He was the big winner at Troy Raceway with the Mustang in Victory Lane. Yeah, I like that old Mustang that's out there, especially like a red Mustang. That was my first car back in 1969 when I started driving with a 69 Mustang Fastback, so I have affinities for those red Mustangs. Congratulations to you.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that race.
We qualified outside front row, which is usually the preferred line at Tacoma anyways. And they had a pretty big wreck on the first lap. And restarted again, and I jumped out front, and we never looked back.
Well, that was a complete restart. I mean, it was a total restart.
Yes.
You started on the outside of somebody else.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
Zach Stewart, second time.
Well, it was a good idea to get down there. They always say that the race is never won on the first lap, and I disagree. Many times, that first driver that gets down to turn one and gets the lead is the winner, because that's very important, especially in dirt track racing.
Yeah, especially with Dakota being a momentum track, so, big time.
Yeah. So, Sandy, what you got for Hayden? What's on?
Same question I've asked everybody else. I always love those answers. How long have you been racing? Or how old were you when you got started?
Oh, I don't know. I've probably been racing 12 years.
Okay, so if you could step back 12 years and when you were about to take the track for your very first competitive race, what would you tell yourself knowing what all you know now? Keep it clean.
Don't do it, you'll save a lot of money.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
No, probably listen to some of your old timers a little bit more than I did. Calm down, and you can only drive as good as you can drive, as good as equipment as you got.
Right. Yeah.
And don't think your first race you're all that, right? Everybody thinks, hey, man, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to show them up first race. Usually it don't work out that way.
No, it don't.
It's a lot easier in the recliner.
Yes, a whole lot.
Y'all moved to Tacoma from the Woodstock area. Y'all lived over in that area, right?
Yeah, we lived on Tacoma.
Did you race any in that area, or did you just start completely when y'all moved to Tacoma?
No, I was 9 years old when we moved here, so honestly, Dad quit racing in about 92, 91, somewhere in there.
And he was at Dixie most of the time, right?
Yeah, he run Dixie, Rome, Lanier, I think 5 flags,
Yeah.
down in there a good bit.
7 flags.
7 flags, that's it, yep, 7 flags. And so, he quit, we was just babies. Honestly, we never really knew a whole lot about dirt track racing when we were growing up, small kids. We moved up here, got to know Tony Owen a little bit.
Oh, Lord.
Got to helping him on the car, and talked Dad into coming to a race one night, and 2 weeks later he went to Arkansas, bought a race car, and we ain't looked back.
Did Tony ever show you that article I wrote about him? I was at an Aubrey shop one day, and Owen was sitting in his race car, asleep. And I wrote, I wrote for the paper back then, said, you've got to be comfortable in your race car. And here is a picture of a man who is so comfortable in his race car, he was just snoozing, sleeping away. And I wrote a whole article on Owen doing that. Think of it.
I wouldn't be like to sleep in the car when we scaled it out, too.
Now, knowing that your dad had raced previously, and then you had that whole span of life where you weren't racing, when you started racing, how did that change the way you saw your dad? He was tougher than you thought he was, right?
And then Dad trying to tell us how to, try to teach us, and
Yeah, it was a whole different stuff.
Did you listen to him or not? I anticipated that.
If I wouldn't have, I would have saved a lot of money in early years.
Well, now, you and Cameron swapped for a while there. Cameron being it one week, and you being it the next week, and so forth. And it wasn't long until y'all had your separate vehicles.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe the next year or so.
Yeah, anybody who races knows that that's one guy races one week, another guy races the next week, especially whenever there's about 70 pounds difference in between the two drivers. It's hard to do that. And I mean, we were both learning, but we had zero opportunity to being successful.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Right.
So I think Dad knew that along with us, and so we decided just to, for both of us to do our own thing with racing.
Well, and having said that, there have been times whenever you and Cameron were racing together, and your cars were almost like magnets. They wind up with each other and sometimes into each other.
I've definitely run over him, and he's run over me, and Sunday dinner was awkward.
Like the Bush brothers, huh?
That's right.
Well, you coming off a win this week. It's a big race. I mean, obviously, there will be a lot of people at Collett because it's a huge race coming up this weekend. You'll be in front of a big crowd, and I know that excites you to be able to race in front of a lot of people.
Yeah. I enjoy seeing the stands full. That's always one of the best things for me is just knowing. We do this as a sport. We do it for ourselves. We do it for fun. But putting on a show is what really, at the end of the day, I can race and finish 4th or 5th, but as long as I put on a good show for the fans, I'm tickled.
Yeah, that's all. Always got to remember who the ultimate sponsor is, and that's the fans.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them, none of us would be doing anything we're doing.
If they ain't there, we ain't there.
Right, because that trickles down to people wanting to put their name on a race car.
Yep.
That trickles down to you as a driver having the money to do what you do, so it is a whole trickle-down effect from those fans in the stands.
Yep.
They'll see me red in the stands with her phone.
And they pay the bills.
Yeah.
So, is there a specific track that you would love to just, all expense paid, just hop in the car and just go run? What track would that be?
So I'm going to Alabama for the first time, East Alabama, for the first time in September. That's a track, but I don't know, nothing really way off anywhere. I'd really like to run Sonoya. I think that'd be a fun track. So the hardest thing with like hard style cars is roll differences. So you either got too much or you don't have enough.
Well, there's so many simple. You got Thunder Bombers, you got straight stocks, you got cruises. There's all kind of different things that are kind of embodied in that modified street stock / enduro division now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like 6 different divisions. It's just a little tweak from what you're running now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Me and Dad talked this year. We had plans on doing a lot of traveling, branching out. It would have been good for us. It would have been good for me and my driving, learning a lot more, learning to adapt to different surfaces and everything. We wasn't able to make it happen this year, but that was the biggest thing, was trying to find tracks we could go to where our car would fit into their class and I could still be competitive and legal.
Even around here, I think drivers that run Collett, Wallonia, Hartwell, Winder, I think that by adapting to a different racetrack than you're on every week, I think it helps you overall as a driver.
Yes, yeah. Now Winder I love Tacoma. I grew up on Tacoma. That's where I cut my teeth. But Winder is my favorite track to run.
She's a beast. She is a beast.
You ever go to Tri-County?
No.
You never went to Tri-County?
No.
Yeah, that's a great little racetrack.
So I'm trying to think. I know Tacoma, Livonia, Hartwell, Winder. I think that's all I've been to. So just right here, because that's where our rules fall. So, that's the biggest thing with our class.
Let's talk about your sponsors, and then we got another guest we're going to bring on. So talk about your sponsors.
First of all, man, I got to thank my crew. My crew's awesome. My dad, my son, Bo, with my work schedule.
Where's he getting in the car?
We're hopefully next year we're going to
I saw him around with it this weekend.
Yeah, he tries to slip a little throttle match at the yard every now and again, but yeah, them two right there, they work their butts off on my car when I'm not able to, and so at the shop, that's the other guys who get it done. And then Friday night, my car got tore up pretty bad in the powder puff race. My dad started at 4 o'clock. I had to go to work and work all day Saturday. My dad started at 4 o'clock Saturday morning, and I didn't even know he was working on it. And he called me about 9 o'clock that morning and said, we're ready to go racing tonight. And so yeah, and then we was able to seal the deal. So yeah, it means a lot whenever you got a good crew behind you, especially, whenever your dad got the love for it as much as you do. So my brother Cameron, he helps out tremendously. Jackson Scott, John Hughes, Wolfie, Ben Dotson, whenever we pull up at the racetrack, they go straight to work and everything. It's all business at that point with them. As of my sponsors, I've got Aubrey's Auto Repair, Calhoun Supply, Mr. Dan Dotson, H2O Proof, it's a waterproofing company owned by Eric and April Collett, Jessica Bragg, Realtor, Mike Davidson with MD Enterprise, Keener Construction, Mr. Chad Keener, El Perion at Tacoma, Richland Creek Transportation, Joshua Whitesides, who we previously drove for, Water Removal Services, Mr. Chad Turkett, Daniel Fowler with Fowler University, Bodies and Race Cars, Adam Poteet, that's my engine man, he's awesome, Kannapolis Engines in Kannapolis, North Carolina, and Mr. Pat Sellers down in Eatonton, does Sellers Shop Services. So, without these guys, this little bitty piece of paper is what makes the racing world go around.
Absolutely. So then I asked Cindy to step out of her seat for a minute, and Randy's going to come up and join us. And while she's on the way, let me tell you about a couple of our sponsors. Raceman Performance, Joey Dorsey builds some pretty good shocks too. If you want shocks for your race car, check out Joey Dorsey. You can check him out at Modern Tire in Hartwell. That's where he'll pick them up and bring them to you and do all his shop work there. Bulldog Car Wash is in Tacoma, $5 car wash that you can get if you mention the Champ Show at Bulldog Car Wash. Safety Plus in Cornelia. We mentioned Modern Tire in Hartwell. Also, their all-terrain tires for your vehicles and Modern Tire in Hartwell. Los Amigos, if you're looking for a Mexican, check out Los Amigos on Big A Road in Tacoma. And of course, Toro Raceway, big race coming up this weekend. Huge race, $10,000 to win on Sunday night. Tomorrow night, James Foster Memorial at the Bonia Speedway. And on Saturday night, it's going to be the big wheelbarrow race and other stuff going on at Widener Speedway as well. Where's Randy? Randy, come on up. Where you at? Where'd Randy Collett go? Okay, so it's up to you. So let's talk about the powder puff race. You already kind of alluded to the fact that the side had been replaced on the race car. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, she done a great job. She run a really good race. First time she's ever been in the race car. Everything me and Cameron told her, she was dead.
Here she is. We're talking about you.
She was dead on the money. Yeah, she done an amazing job the first time ever being in one.
Well, now, did you go to practice at all, or was that just the first time you sat in the car? What was the deal on how you got around the track?
I went to one practice, and then that was it. And then we went to the race.
So how did you do in the practice? Did you feel comfortable, or was it like, oh gosh, I got to go race this thing now?
The first time out there, I was like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do this. But then I think I got a little better each time I went out and did my best.
All right, well now Hayden's already told us that they had to replace the side on the race car, so tell us how that came about.
A little inexperience and a little fun and a little gas happy, I guess.
Somebody else, or was it the wall?
It was somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think my little inexperience didn't help me any when I was trying to, she had spun out and I didn't know how to navigate it and hit her.
Well, did you see everybody else having the same problems you were having? What did you see from the driver's seat?
Everybody looked really good. I was very impressed with everybody. I think everybody did a great job on the powder puff race.
So are you ready to do another one?
I don't know about all that.
Is the car ready for her to do another one? Is it going to be available to her if she's ready?
It's always available.
So what's it like being the wife of somebody that's on the racetrack all the time? From a wife's perspective, is he just in the shop too much, he gone too much, or is that something you fully support?
I fully support it because he could be out doing something he ain't supposed to be doing, and my mother-in-law told me that a long time ago when I did fuss about it.
Yeah.
She said, Randy, he could be in the shop or he could be out doing something he ain't supposed to do. So, and he does it with our sons.
Yeah.
And so it's a family thing. It's not just him out in the shop all the time trying to find something to tinker with. He's showing our kids, and so they'll have...
Well, that's one of the things I've noticed about y'all. You move them down in the pits up under the tree now, and y'all kind of have claimed that as your little family area up there. It's kind of neat because y'all have picnics. I mean, it's just a big family affair on a Saturday afternoon.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. It's family.
And family in racing is so important. I think people always look at the driver, but they don't realize the support that comes from the entire family to make that driver look good. Yeah.
My personal opinion, I mean, your driver has to be on the game, but that driver is probably one of the smallest parts of making everything happen at the racetrack.
Yeah.
I mean, without a good crew, you don't have anything. I mean, it's hard for a driver to do it all.
Well, and one of the things that I always say is the race is realized as a checkered flag, but it's won in shop. And I always think if you don't do that work in the shop, ain't no way you're going to make it to checkered flag on a Saturday or Sunday.
Absolutely.
Every trophy we've ever won is hanging up in our shop. We've got shelves built for them. And I'm sure there's a lot of other racers with the same theory behind theirs being in their shop, but trophy goes where the race was won.
Yeah.
And it's right there.
Absolutely. So now, if you got a question for your wife about the race, what did you see that you need to ask her about?
It's probably nothing that we ain't already talked about.
So where'd you start in the race?
I started fourth. Outside second row.
Okay, where did you finish?
I would have finished fourth if I wouldn't have gotten in the accident.
Oh, okay, so that ended your night.
Yeah.
So now, did you like starting outside, or would you have preferred to start inside? If you look back at it, if you had a choice, where would you have started? You like the outside?
I like the outside.
Okay. When you went down in turn one for the first time under power after taking the green, what was that feeling like?
That was an adrenaline that you can't really explain. It was really fun.
So when did you kind of get your emotions in check? Going down the back straightaway and say, I can do this, or after the first lap, or what?
I would say it's probably the second or third lap I got,
really?
and then I spun out, and then I got in my own head, and then I got in the back, but it was just something.
Well, fun times, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Well, thanks for being here.
Well, thank you.
And thanks for loaning her the car, and thanks for being here, and thanks to your dad for getting ready for you to win on Saturday night. How cool is that? You have a 12 race car on Friday night and winning it on Saturday night.
Yeah, it don't happen like that every week.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And again, all that shop work is what makes it happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Charles.
Sandy's on the way back up to continue her co-hosting duties. While she does, let's tell you about some of our sponsors. Jackie Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Cleveland, Georgia. Simpson Mulch, they're right next door to Simpson Trucking and Brady. Also, Aquabot of Georgia. Yeah, man, our Aquabot cleans our pool so well, we don't ever touch our pool anymore because the Aquabot automatic pool cleaner takes care of it. That's a Chastain janitorial. Shane Chastain, he can fix you up with your Aquabot for your pool as well. Napa Auto Parts, located all over Northeast Georgia. 13 locations, including Love Hollow, Westminster, Easley, and 2 locations in Anderson in South Carolina at Napa Auto Parts. Our racetrack sponsors include Score Raceway, big race Sunday night, Livonia Speedway, big race tomorrow night, White Speedway, big race on Saturday night. Speaking of Livonia Speedway, Rex Hambrick joins us right now because the James Foster Memorial is coming up tomorrow night, and that is a huge race for members of his family, sort of, at least his car owner. James, we worked really hard to get James inducted into the Racing Hall of Fame, and he did get inducted this past year. We worked on that prior to his death, but that just didn't happen. But anyway, it's a big deal to have the James Foster Memorial, and I know that Justin and your crowd's all excited about that for tomorrow night.
Almost definitely.
Tell us a little bit about what that means to have the backbone of racing in Northeast Georgia involved in your team.
Well, he built a few bodies for us, and he did what he could, and he was real good at building bodies for us, and he would only build our body. All he usually built was limited bodies. He helped us set up the car every once in a while, and he'd give us pointers and stuff. He didn't really know everything about what we did, but he would always help us out and give us pointers and stuff, help us get around.
And if you don't know the name James Foster, which you should if you're a race fan, however, get this list of names of people that's driven for him. Of course, David McCoy in the later years was just the star of what James Foster did. Chris Woods currently, or still with that team, Chris Woods drives for him, a lot of victories there. You got, over the years, Jack Pennington, Granger Howell, Kenneth Adelwine, Buck Simmons drove his cars. Adam Smith has driven his cars. Frankie Beard, they did a touring series together for a lot of years. I mean, you just look at the who's who in racing, and James Foster was involved in most of those names. Just a tremendous influence in the racing world.
Oh, yeah. He did a lot for everybody in Limited, and I don't really know much of what he did back in the day, but I know he was really respected then.
Yeah.
And people still think about him nowadays and keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about your racing year that you had.
Man, I ain't hit on nothing.
You got 2 wins?
I got 2 wins on one, yeah, I did. And I drove real hard to get that, but man, we ain't hit on much. We've had a lot of bad luck, and we're trying to get that monkey off our back, and I hope we can fix it from now to the end of the year, and but I think we got everything squared away so far.
Well, we're used to seeing you in a particular looking race car. Tomorrow night you're going to debut a different looking race car, and that may change your luck, you think?
I would very well hope so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident.
Tomorrow night.
I'm pretty confident in what we got going on.
You probably are going to say, who in the heck is that on the racetrack? You won't even recognize it, right?
Yeah. I'm ready to go.
I've seen a sneak preview, and I'm excited for him and excited for y'all to see it.
Yeah, I just hope we can get a win tomorrow for James.
Yeah.
And that would mean a lot to the guy that owns my car, Justin, and maybe we can get it done.
Well, you're kind of new on the racing scene. You came in maybe 4 years ago? 3 years ago. And we had not seen you, and all of a sudden, man, you went out. I think I asked you the first night, I said, what are your plans tonight? You said, I'm going to be in Victory Lane. I mean, there was no question that you said that. Didn't quite work out that way.
No, it did.
That's what you said that first night I met you.
It usually never does, but when I get a win, I appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody that does everything for me, and it feels great, and I just hope that we can do better from now till the end of the year.
Yeah. So Cindy's got her patent question that she's going to ask you.
I'm ready for it. Bring it.
So you've only been racing 3 years?
I've only been racing for 3
You
years.
learned a lot in those 3 years, right?
I have learned a lot, and I'm still learning.
Oh, you're right. Okay, if you could go back today, knowing everything you know, to 3 years ago, walk up to the door of that car, lean in, what would you tell yourself knowing what you know now?
I'm a bad man. I'm a bad man.
I like it. I like it.
I mean, that's all I can think about.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it without everybody that helps me out doing the car.
Now, is there a particular track other than where you race right here that you would like to go to that you think may fit your driving style?
We really want to drive Sonoya and Screbbins. We do want to do that a lot, and maybe do a little traveling, but with Modified Street, there ain't no traveling really. It's more cruiser cars, guys, and we thought about going to that, but we really ain't adjusted and see what is going on there.
Right.
Yeah, whenever you start looking at the rules are so different in that. Thunder Bombers, they're different. I mean, everybody's got such different rules till it's hard to travel in those particular divisions unless you follow the series that's going all those tracks.
Right, Modified Street's nowhere close. I mean, it's similar, but it's not the exact same thing as what cruiser races. So we kind of really can't travel with them, and we thought about it, and we might go, we might not, I don't know.
Well, we see some guys like Andy Stewart. We'll see Andy come up and win in Bologna in his car, and it makes you wonder where he's racing all the other times, because that's a legal car like you would be. So I wonder where all Andy's racing. He's down in the Augusta area, and I'm not sure where he goes on regular Saturday night, but that might be some places to look at.
Yeah, and Swainsboro. We want to race. I know you go there a lot.
Be there Saturday.
Yeah, and we wanted to go to Swainsboro. We can't race there yet, but we're going to see what we can do. We thought about going to Phoenix City and racing this year and see what we can do. We just got to get everything ready to go for that.
So what do you have to do to change to go to Phoenix City and be legal?
I ain't gonna lie to you, Charles. I don't know. I just drive.
I got you.
That man right there knows, but I don't know.
I understand. All right. So now, whenever you get ready for this weekend's race, have you got your full complement of sponsors on the race car? Let's talk about your sponsors first. Let's talk about those, then we'll go to the next one.
Well, I got all my sponsors this year. They've been with me for 3 years, and they've been honest people, and I've kept them so far. This year's a little different than what we got going on. It's just because of that Memorial race, we changed it over, and I don't know if we'll continue racing on what we got with those sponsors. It was a sponsor.
It turns out tomorrow night, right?
Right. If it gives me good luck, I'm going to keep it.
Yeah.
I'm going to let it ride. But we just went with the same thing he had for then, and I will reveal it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. It's a little confidential right now, but
That's awesome.
just as long as people know.
That's exciting.
They won't know Rex Hambrick is in it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm sure. That when they first see it.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that you started 3 years ago. What is your background in racing before you just showed up in a modified street in Columbia one week?
It was just go-karts. I used to just race go-karts, and that's it. And then one day, he come up and asked me if I wanted to drive, and I was like, here I am.
Wow.
And I climbed in it, crashed it a few times, and then here we are.
So did you do like Shiloh and Farnsville? I mean, did you do that?
I did.
With those two tracks?
I did Shiloh and Hot Rods. Yeah, I did Hot Rods Car Track and Shiloh, and that's the main ones I did. I did Carnesville one time. I ain't very familiar with it, but that's the main. Shiloh and Hot Rods was the main races I stayed in.
How many years did you go kart racing?
Oh man, it was
A long time?
Yeah, it was a long time. It was 3 or 4, 5, something like that. And I was pretty competitive in it. I wasn't bad. I raced with jump, so ain't nothing wrong with that.
How was the transition over to full body car?
Way different. There's so much more to learn in a car than there is on a go-kart. And I raced everybody says a go-kart's like a late model. And I got a late model and it's nothing. It's nothing the same. Yeah, I tried it. I didn't really like it. I like to drive the car.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned so far.
There's a lot more to change on a full body car than just a sprocket.
Oh, you're daggone right. There's a lot more stuff to adjust than there is just regular racing.
Yeah. So now, you finished the season out, probably 5 more races left at Columbia, something like that?
Yeah, right now I'm leading the points at Columbia. I've finished mostly in the top 5, top 3. I've not finished out of that besides me pulling in or whatever for problems I've had, but I'm leading points. I've had a lot of seconds and a lot of thirds. And so far it's going pretty good. I want to have more wins, so maybe we can work our way towards that before we end the season.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask this question with rabbit ears. Your traditional number has been 8. Where'd that number come from?
That's been my number in everything. It's been 8, 18, or 88. I've had that in football, any kind of sports I played. It's just all, and 8's really been my number. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., obviously.
Right, that didn't hurt.
Yeah, I've always liked Dale Earnhardt Jr.
So now, is that something that the first jersey they handed you had an 8, and that's just how it happened?
The first jersey? No, I actually I chose 88. And then I went from 88 to 18, and then now I'm at 8.
Okay.
I'm just a single number guy. I don't like doubles.
Okay.
So I don't know, and it's always been some luck I've had with 8.
Yeah.
So that's what I roll with.
So now, we kind of talked about late models a minute ago, about the difference in go-karts and late models. Is there any possibility of moving up?
Maybe I might go back and drive that late model I've been driving, which is the 3 car, but I'm going to try it.
Who is the 3 car?
Keith Hayden.
I don't know him.
Yeah, he's pretty new in it. He's let a lot of guys drive it so far. Derek Hardy's driving it right now.
I got you. Okay. I've seen Derek in that car, yeah.
Yeah, and he fixed it. He got a lot of stuff done on it. And he got it fixed back right the way it's supposed to be. So, I don't know, there could be a future to be driving it a little bit here and there, but I don't know. Just see what the future holds.
Well, you mentioned Justin, the car owner. Who else have you got to help you in the car? Or that he has covered in with you?
I got a lot. I didn't bring my list, but I can kind of remember on top of my head. I got Rice Equipment Repair. I got Bowens Utilities. I got Morgan's Hardware. I got Haley's Construction and Home Improvements. I got DHR. That's my setup man. That's the scientist behind it all. Just most of the friends and family, man. That's all that matters.
Yeah. So that's always good when you got friends and family trying to chip in.
They keep it going, and that's really all I draw for is my friends and family.
Well, I tell you what, family is so big, and James Foster's family is going to be there tomorrow night. We encourage everybody to show up for the James Foster Memorial. He meant so much to this area. What a quiet man. Yeah. He meant so much to this world of racing.
He was really good at what he did.
Yeah, and I was honored to Indy Bikes for the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame magazine, Pioneer Pages. I was able to write an article on James before he passed away, and he gave me all the particulars, and he approved it before I printed it to make sure that it was good and like he wanted it. And I just had the honor of meeting him and talking with him. I was not at the Hall of Fame. You was not at the Hall of Fame? I didn't go to the Hall of Fame for that. But
I didn't know. I just know
I'm excited for him.
I heard it went pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
And he's got a big thing set up over there.
Yeah.
Which I was glad to have him.
There's a lot of guys showing up for that race tomorrow night. Drivers that used to drive for him. Chris Woods got crashed at Winder last week, and I talked to Brian Foster. I invited Brian to be on the show tonight, and Brian said, "Man, we got to go to Pennsylvania and get a new car." So they're in the midst of getting a brand new car ready for tomorrow night. There's a lot of things happening for that race tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, he's gonna pop out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I hope Chris gets it.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Yeah, and I'd like to see that too.
That would be nice.
Well, Rex, we appreciate you being here, man.
I thank y'all.
Always good to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Sandy, let's talk a little bit about what you got going. You said you're going to be at Swainsboro this week.
Yes, we'll be at Swainsboro Raceway.
What do you got going on?
You know what? They're doing Thursday Night Thunder tonight.
Okay.
And then Saturday, it's just going to be just a regular Saturday night show, but they're Crown Vic Pros, and I'm pretty sure the sponsor for that class is Lynn & Bob's, which is a restaurant in Swainsboro. They are sponsoring that class, and the winner of that class is guaranteed a spot in the Crown Vic Nationals that's going to be held the 15th. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, where is a track that you haven't been to that you want to go to?
I want to go to Port Royal. I want to go to Port Royal.
Port Royal?
I want to go to Port Royal. I don't know what it is. I really want Shane to buy me a house, one of those houses across the street, and I want to deck the roof, and that's just where I'm going to live.
Wow, that's cool. So now, any other track that's Swainsboro this weekend for you, or is that going to be it?
That's going to be it. Just with things the way they are, it's just really hard for us to do 3 and 4 tracks like we were before.
Yeah. Gas prices are coming down a little bit.
A little bit.
I don't want to get political, but if the right person gets in,
maybe they'll come down a lot more, maybe so. And we don't charge anything. A track can call or message me like, hey, when can you come? We get on the books as quickly as we can. We have several drivers. We'd love it if you'd come, and we come to that. But we're staying kind of closer, just the money thing. We sell stickers. We've got a couple of different size stickers we sell just to generate some gas money, you know. And we're hoping to add T-shirts, that sort of thing, on down the road. Just to cover a little bit of travel expense.
Well, that's certainly good.
Yeah, but we're having fun. We're having a blast.
Racetracks, and somebody will come in the tower and say, City Branch here tonight. So you have earned yourself the right to be something special.
Well, thank you. We've added the in-car footage. Shane handles that. Shane is the guru with all the electronics. I just hold my phone. But he's going in, and we're taking some of the cars, and we're doing an in-car camera out the front, but we're also putting one in the very rear of the same car.
Yeah.
And that has been so much fun. That's been a lot of fun. And it's put us in the pathway of a lot of new drivers that we wouldn't have been able to see.
Now, as the season starts to wind down, of course, big races are the thing. Points are over at
Right.
Getting close to being over. Drivers want to start traveling, and they want to chase big money. Do you have big money races that you've looked at that you're putting on the schedule?
We haven't really we'll most likely be at East Alabama. Shane never misses that race. We're doing everything we can to get to that one. But we really don't. We kind of fly by the seat of our pants, during the off season, but we don't really get an off season. We're somewhere every weekend.
Another feeling. Not anymore. Retired football. Anyway, I've known that feeling for many, many years.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate y'all flying up here tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
It's been an honor to have you on the show and co-host.
Thank you.
And,
It was fun.
I originally did this because I thought you were going to be up here covering races.
Right.
And we tied it all together.
Yeah.
That didn't quite happen.
No, we promised out the Swainsboro.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having us.
It's been a fun night.
Thank you.
Check her out. Remember, how do they find you on Facebook?
Cindy Brett, My View from the Stands.
Okay, so that is your particular page just for that.
That's all that's on there.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
I was searching through your photos today to do the promo for this, and I found the one with you that somebody else took of a late bottle in the background. I thought,
The funny thing to that picture, if I've got a second, I told you the Cody Overton story. Okay, my very first memory at a dirt track was standing in turn 1 at Swainsboro Raceway, holding on to the fence, watching the cars come through, and I was hooked then. I loved it. And that picture, Cody was the first video that I took. That's Cody Overton, and I'm standing in turn 1 at Swainsboro Raceway videoing. So that was the significance of that picture.
watching the 76 go by.
Right. Yep. No, Cody, 97.
Oh, the 97.
97 Cody. Yeah. Not Randy, Cody. Yeah.
That is
So that's mine and Cody's little connection.
I love that. That is so neat.
Yeah.
Well, Cindy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've done a great job
Thank you.
tonight.
It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for being up here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the studio next week, so tune in. I forgot, I don't think I've even named a co-host yet for next week, but we're back on 7 o'clock, 99.3 FM, and of course, as always, live here on Facebook Live as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks to the great reception we've had here at Boogie's Mill Creek Gathering Place, and we look to see you somewhere this weekend. Yeah, I'll be at a racetrack this weekend, so I'll look to see you there. Bye, everybody.